There was an important development in support for impeachment proceedings in the House of Representatives today, important both in who the new support comes from and what that support is based on. Congresswoman Lauren Underwood of Illinois is one of the freshman Democrats who flipped a Republican district last year in winning her election. She brings the total number of House Democrats supporting impeachment now to 126, a majority of the Democrats' 235 members of the House. She is the first member of Congress to issue a public statement in support of impeachment based entirely on Volume 1 of the Mueller report instead of Volume 2. Volume 2 describes obstruction of justice by the president, including the president's attempts to fire Robert Mueller. But it is the largely ignored Volume 1 in the impeachment process that describes the Russian attack on our election and the Trump campaign's cooperation with Russian interests in the Trump campaign. Congresswoman Underwood's statement supporting impeachment proceedings says, quote, "No one is above the law, including the President of the United States. The Mueller report lays out substantial evidence that the president's campaign worked with a foreign adversary to influence an election. The president has stated he would welcome foreign help to win the 2020 election. I find this extremely concerning. The Mueller report gave us a lot of information, but it left open a lot of key questions that House committees are investigating. I have long stated that I support the impeachment-related investigation by Chairman Nadler and the others being pursued by 5 other committees. The American people deserve all the facts and full transparency, and Congress needs this information to inform a decision to move forward with the very sobering act of drafting articles of impeachment. And just as importantly, we need the information to better understand how our election was influenced by a foreign adversary to prevent it from ever happening again." Joining our discussion now is Malcolm Nance, MSNBC counterterrorism and intelligence analyst. He is the author of The Plot to Destroy Democracy: How Putin and His Spies Are Undermining America and Dismantling the West. Malcolm, you must feel grateful that someone in the impeachment discussion has finally paid attention to Volume 1.
That is precisely what I was thinking in your opening segment there, that finally someone has glommed on to what Robert Mueller was really trying to say. First off, the United States was not meddled in. It was attacked, physically attacked. U.S. citizens were affected. Materials were stolen. The American electoral process was corrupted, and it was designed to break the fundamentals of the American electoral process. This freshman Congresswoman gets it. Donald Trump can be impeached on just about anything. If Bill Clinton can be impeached for what they say is perjury and lying related to a consensual sexual relationship, then conspiring, not up to the level that Robert Mueller chose, but conspiring all the same, benefiting, coordinating, and working with a foreign power and its laundromat, WikiLeaks, to cheat in an election, that's impeachable.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the discussion about impeachment got distracted into the notion of a provable federal crime has to be committed, which has never been true about the impeachment process. And this Congresswoman is very much obviously aware of that, even though the Mueller investigation did not produce a federal crime committed by President Trump that they could allege in Volume 1. The behavior of the campaign in relation to Russian interest in the campaign is something that she considers worthy of the attention of an impeachment inquiry.
Well, certainly, because Robert Mueller used an almost impossible standard for criminal conduct. If you recall, in the case of Donald Trump Jr., he decided that Donald Trump Jr. could get away with not knowing the law and still committing a crime, and that would be no problem. No other American who is ignorant of the law gets away with committing a crime. So that standard can be brought out as part of the impeachment process and shown that it is, in fact, actually a crime. Another standard that he gave was the standard of not reasonable doubt, but conclusive evidence that the president's campaign worked and conspired with a foreign power. That evidence is all through the 448 pages of Section 1, and I think that it should be acted upon.
Malcolm Nance, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on the button below for more from The Last Word and the rest of MSNBC.